Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, the year of our Lord. How's everyone doing out there? So today's motto and today's big video is going to be about what happens when everything around you wants to break you down. Because, as a plumber, this happens all the time to us. Everything's trying to break us down, but this happens to everybody in life in their own way. Everything's trying to break you down, whether that be your workplace, whether that be the people you thought you cared for the most. It doesn't matter. Life will try to break you down, and it could be something like bills are piling up, stuff like that. What have I done? Well, I'll be honest with you. Up until probably 4 years ago, I didn't really have an answer for you. I let everything hit me in the face and would say, oh me, oh my, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe this is happening to me. Well, here's what I do now. Ever since I got hit in the face with a pipe wrench and it blew my eye up, got a big old knot in my face, broke my orbital, all that jazz. When that happened, I was like, man, I just made it through a really terrible situation. And it slowed down my world. It was the first time I got to slow down after our son was born. The first time I got to actually slow down after our son was born. He was about, I think, 5 months or so, 4 or 5 months old when it happened. And it's the real first time that I got to sit down since he was born and just appreciate what I had. Okay? And I remembered why I was doing this then. Why I was working every day. Why I was pushing myself every day. And I had to define my why again. And that's what I did. I defined the why, right? I defined what I'm doing here. And it was for him, and it was for his mama, my wife. And defining the why is very important. It's very, very important. I've got some stuff going on right now that I've had to reevaluate everything and define my why, right? So in Illinois, you have a plumber's apprenticeship card. After you become a third year, you move out of direct supervision into what's called supervision, meaning that you are actually allowed to do some of the work yourself. You are allowed to go out on your own. You're allowed to do jobs on your own in most city ordinances. In most city ordinances, you're allowed to do these jobs on your own, right? Okay, so I've been out in my own truck now for over a year. And yeah, it's great. It's awesome. So things have happened, and they have made me feel like I had to redefine the why, basically. I had to redefine what I'm doing here and what I'm going to do while everything's trying to break me down, along with the guys around me, right? So what I've done is I've just defined my why. Because until I can fix that in my brain, how in the world am I supposed to help fix that in their brain? Or help, give them assistance? You can't. When the plane's going down, who do you put the oxygen mask on first? Your child or yourself? Yourself. Because you're not going to be able to help them if you're dead, right? You're not going to be able to help them if your brain is so messed up that you just can't help them, right? That is the whole premise behind this. You have to define your why before you can ever help someone else define their why, right? You have to be able to remember why you're doing this. Number one, you have to have a reason why you're doing all of this, why you're going through this. Because life is going to make you ask yourself that question over and over and over again. And you have to have a clear-cut end goal, right? You have to have a clear-cut, when you're done with this, you're not done. What is the goal beyond that goal? Because when you don't have goals lined up, once that one goal is accomplished, boom, Well, now you're left, where do I go from here? What do I do now? I accomplished everything I came to accomplish, but where do I go from here? And if you're not progressing, you're degressing. Okay, just so you're aware of that. In my mind, if you're not progressing, you are degressing. By far. Bar none. Bar none. Okay? That's just the way that it is. I mean, if you can't keep pushing forward, you have to redefine your why. You have to redefine what you're doing and why you're doing it. No matter what. Because your child, your wife, your significant other, whatever the case may be, you cannot hope to help them with anything if your mind is not latched on to what you're trying to accomplish either, right? So that's number one in my mind, is just defining the why. Number two is making sure that when you are having those moments that you have a support circle. I don't care who it is, what it is. There are a lot of people around you that you wouldn't even believe will sit there and listen to you for hours, right? They will sit there and listen to you for hours. And if you don't have someone like that, I highly suggest making friends out there. Yes, are there some friends that will try to bring you down? Sure, there are. Just like family members will try to bring you down. But you don't go into it hoping or thinking they're going to bring you down, right? That's a defeatist mentality. Going into it believing that they're going to automatically bring you down because of past experiences is a defeatist mentality, because 90% of the people out there on this earth are not like that. Having a good support circle is important. There's a lot of people out there that are standing right next to you right now that you wouldn't believe would actually at any given moment, jump out of their bed at night and come help you with something. Number 3, make sure you get enough sleep. Guys, there's a lot of people out there that aren't getting enough sleep, and they wake up in a bad situation already. They start their day off in a bad situation. And it's not like you're in the military where you can't get any sleep, right? A lot of the times when we don't get sleep, it's because we actually make that happen. All of us have the ability to sleep, and it's important that we do sleep. Now, there are some jobs out there where you're not going to be able to sleep that much, but making sure that you get some kind of rest in is vitally important. And it sounds so stupid because I'm talking about, if things are trying to bring you down, what do you do? Sleep. Sleep is so valuable. I don't think people realize how valuable getting good rest in is. Making sure our body's rested. Because if we're not rested, we're not going to be able to accomplish a darn thing. Mark my words. I know that from experience. Number 4, making sure you're eating, at least a pretty decent diet. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but making sure you're getting good micronutrients in, like vegetables and fruits in your diet. A lot of people get cranky and get messed up and have bad digestion because they're just not eating any kind of micronutrient dense meal. Not eating any kind of thing that's going to actually aid in them feeling good, right? A lot of people just don't care about that. A lot of people are just especially if you're in the trades, they don't care about eating a balanced diet because they're always on the road. But when you don't eat a balanced diet, your body doesn't feel good. Your body can't perform at its most optimal level. That's the big issue, is that you can't perform at your most optimal level if you are sidetracked. If you gotta eat. If you cannot eat a balanced diet, you're not gonna do well. Not just, like I said though, it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least getting some micronutrients in there, especially fiber. Digestion's important. And I know you're probably sitting there going, why is all this important when we're talking about things bringing us down? It's because all of these things add up. All of these are cumulative little blocks, right? That are building. It's like building a wall. All of these little things are adding to why you are taking things so hard, and you are taking things so personal, and you are taking things so hard to your body because you already don't feel good physically. You already feel you're already tired, so you're not good mentally. Emotionally, you're not good because of everything adding up at this point. you feel like you're about to just explode, right? Most men, instead of crying, they want to hit something. They want to get mad because we don't want to cry. We're men. Now, I know a lot of the new generation, that's different because we've been told it's okay to cry. And I was brought up to believe, you know what, I'm sorry, but under most circumstances, men, and it's going to sound terrible, but in most circumstances, crying is still a sign of weakness, okay? It's just, and I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm an evil piece of shit person, but when I see somebody crying, look, I mean, especially if you got kids out there and they see you crying like that, I understand the whole premise about showing them that it's okay to cry, but if you're crying about everything and everything you have an emotional reaction to, that's a problem. Now, obviously, if somebody dies in your family or something like that, something major happens, I understand that. But if you're crying about little things, right? You're crying, physically crying about little tiny things and insignificant little things in your world, that is seen by other people. And that is showing that you're taking little, intricate little things personally that's adding up that eventually is going to make you explode. Right? So the way I get through my everyday life is center myself. I make sure that, you know, if something is starting to attack me emotionally, I'm trying to eliminate that from my brain, right? I'm trying to eliminate that away from me. I'm trying to stop that. I'm trying to stop that in its tracks. I'm trying to not think about it. Just not think about it. I'm trying to throw that out the door. Throw that out the window. Because I don't want to see that. So that's just a few tips that I have. That's just what I've been doing to accomplish my goals and do what I need to do. Y'all have a great day out there. Be safe. Snow's still on the ground. Be safe. It's slick out there. And yeah, thank you for watching.